Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Catwoman, Lonely City. This is the hardcover. So as always, I'll be talking about a little bit of the story, the art, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to the support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the dust jacket. Where it has a kind of matte look to it, but it has that gloss on Catwoman and her whip, which is pretty cool. And the name of the artist, the spine, the back. Now let's take a look at underneath the dust jacket. If I can open it up, there we go. Front of the book, the spine, the back, which is nothing, and I'll do a full spread. You guys can see the full image, which is only one image here, but there you go. Now, for this particular story, there are two variant covers of it. There's two different covers. There's this one, and there's another one, which is this one here. It's essentially the same story, just a different cover, or a different dust jacket. And I was able to get this at a really good price, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to get it. So I figured I can open up this one. And again, this is the variant cover, and this is the common one. And from what I've read is that underneath the dust jacket actually is a map of Gotham. I could be wrong, though. I want to say that's what I read online. I don't know. I don't want to open it because I really, really like the art piece here on this dust jacket. But again, to let you know, there's two different covers, but they're both the same story. But anyway, so let's take a look at the book and, of course, what the book is about. So what is the book is about? The book is about Catwoman, and that Catwoman has been in Blackgate prison for 10 years for what happened in the past, which I won't say too much about it. And so, like I said, Catwoman's been in jail for quite a while, 10 years. So she gets out and she notices that everything's completely different. I mean, 10 years is a long time. And what I mean by different is that Gotham City is no longer how it used to be before. Because before, as we know it, Gotham City is like dirty and trashy, violence left and right. But when she gets out, she notices that Gotham is no longer like that anymore. It's actually clean and safe. And things have changed. We have villains turning now actually not so much heroes, but actually obeying the law. So she's trying to adapt and kind of learn and adjust to everything, what's going on. And in this story, Harvey Dent is actually now the mayor of Gotham, and he's actually the one who enforces so many rules and restrictions, such as you can't wear a costume or a mask. So again, it's a lot different than it was before. But the main point of the story is what happened with her and Batman. Because when Batman died, and again, don't worry, this is not a spoiler because this happens early on in the story. When Batman dies, Batman tells Catwoman something, which I won't say what he tells her, but he tells her something. And so Catwoman gets out of prison, and now she wants to make one big final score, which is, decipher what Batman meant and said, and figure out what was his point, like what was he trying to imply. And that's like the main gist of the story. It is a bit short; it's like only 4 issues, so it's not too bad. But that's the main gist of the story. And I gotta say, I really like the story. It is a lot of fun. And when I say a lot of fun, it's just really seeing Catwoman adapt to her environment. And that's what I like about it. Because 10 years is a long time. And when she gets out, things are different. She doesn't have the friends that she used to before. As a matter of fact, Penguin's actually now having a legitimate business. Because, Penguin's does some shady stuff. And in this story, he's serious now. He's a legitimate business. Now you have rules where you can't wear a costume at night. You have curfews. Obviously, the city's a lot safer. Also, too, since the fact that she was in prison, actually, Gotham City itself took all her belongings, so she doesn't have all the gadgets, and she doesn't have all the connections she used to before. So now she's trying to kind of one big final score, meanwhile having limited to no gadgets and so forth. And on top of that, she's a lot older, so she's not as mobile, she's not as efficient or fast. And just seeing her adapt and trying to get everything she needs to do just to kind of figure out what Batman said and meant to her when he said what he said, that's like the fun part for me. And I really, really enjoyed it. Again, I really, really like it. Seeing all that, seeing how some of the villains are no longer intimidated. For instance, Killer Croc. Usually when you see Killer Croc, he's very intimidated. People are scared of him. He's always eating people. But in here, he's kind of like a regular drunkie. He's basically a drunk guy who's always at a bar drinking all day, every day. Here's Barbara Gordon, where, when we think of Barbara Gordon or Batgirl, we think of her as young, long hair, hip, just having fun. But in this story, she's complete opposite of that. She's older, more mature, obviously short hair, no longer doing what she used to do before, and just completely different person. And you really see how Catwoman is trying to adjust with, because again, she was gone for 10 years, but seeing how everything has changed, and like some of the villains are just nobodies now, and some of the villains actually becoming legitimate business owners, which is kind of weird. But just seeing that, and to me, I really liked it. And of course, figuring out what Batman said and just seeing the outcome of that is really, really cool. And I dig it, man. I really like the story from beginning, middle to end. I know in terms of the art style, some people may not like it because it does look kind of like cartoonish. But I'm telling you, it's actually really, really good. Because eventually you start more reading into it, you actually appreciate it more. Especially in this format. Because I like how the fact it's just a bigger size book. And I'll do a comparison so you guys can see what I mean. So this is a regular hardcover, and this is the size of it. So you can see the size difference. So look at the size difference. So it's a regular hardcover, and this is the Catwoman. So it's a lot bigger. Keep that in mind. But what I like about it is the actual type of paper they use, the actual gloss paper. And I'm glad they did that because with these like light colors and that paper quality, it makes the actual art really, really pop. And you appreciate the art, even though it's a bit cartoony, but you appreciate it even more. And the pacing of it, I gotta say it's good. There are some moments where it does slow down to about average or so, but for the most part, it's definitely above average. And again, this is short for issues, but I gotta say, I really dig this story. This is a fun story. Like I said, seeing Catwoman adapt, seeing all these villains turn to either legitimate business owners or nobodies. Like, okay, like I said, Killer Croc. Killer Croc, I think I just passed him right now, but Killer Croc used to be like someone, you know, used to be intimidating. But here, he's just a drunk alcoholic at a bar. So random, but it's kind of funny seeing that. And that's what I like about it. Just seeing how everything is here in this story. And of course, the writing is good too. I think Cliff Chang, or I think the name is Cliff Chang. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name incorrectly, but the writing is really good. It's very solid, and you really feel for something for Catwoman. You really feel for her because she's really struggling and trying to adapt with everything. Meanwhile, trying to decipher what the heck Batman meant when he said what he said, and just seeing all that and discovering all that, and just seeing how the world is, you know, for Catwoman, it's really, really cool. And I gotta say, this is a fun story. I really dig it. I highly recommend reading it. Yeah, man, thumbs up for me. I don't want to see too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but thumbs up for me for Catwoman Lonely City. Definitely recommend getting it. In my opinion, it is definitely a must-read for 2023. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Do you plan on reading this book? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So that includes an overview of Catwoman Lonely City hardcover, and on to the next one.